Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for being here. All right, we've got Wil Ralston, President, SinglePoint Inc., SinglePoint.com on the show. Wil, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. Okay, I'm really excited about your company, your product, your technology. Give the audience a little background on it, and then let's dive into it because I got a million questions.
All right, sounds great. Well, yeah, we have actively been working very hard to develop some new payment solutions, specifically in the cryptocurrency space, working on enabling retailers to actually let customers buy Bitcoin at the point of sale. So that's been a really big project that we've worked on. We actually hired a guy that previously had won the Coinbase hackathon, so he's got some deep knowledge in here and has really helped guide our team to figure out the right solution. On top of that, we've launched a couple different platforms in the cannabis e-commerce space at our SingleSeed.com website, and we are currently in the middle of filing our Form 10. We hope to have that filed and submitted here in the next week or so, which will allow us to become fully reporting.
Wow, I saw that. I was looking at your symbol, right? SING, right?
Yep.
Okay, all right. And I remember there was another company that came onto our show, and they were trading about 3 cents, and maybe about a month and a half, 2 months later, they were trading at, no, about 2.5 months later, $3. So you've got a brilliant product. Tell me about the being able, give us an overview of the payment solutions and how Bitcoin payments is shaping up for the rest of the world. I mean, now all of a sudden you brought it onto the show, and I was surprised, but I guess I shouldn't be. That now you can buy cannabis products with Bitcoin. That's a breakthrough, man. That's not something that's just should be brushed under the table.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what we're aiming for. So that's a huge problem in the industry is banking, and
Yep.
as more banks come on board, that's great for us because we already have those tried and true viable credit card processing solutions built in. And what we're trying to do now is simply be ahead of the curve, ahead of the game, and allow merchants and consumers to be able to utilize the power of cryptocurrency, which is being utilized worldwide to actually make a transaction and make a purchase. So we've brought in some pretty heavy hitters. We engaged Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, and are doing a national commercial rollout for this specific product. And that's set here to launch. We're doing the final revisions of this commercial for our Bitcoin payment solution, and we're already ran it through Fox News Network and got the approval there to air on their stations, and
Cool.
We're looking to get many more approvals as well.
Yeah, let's get into the difference between you and everybody else because you've got some standalone stuff.
Yeah, so mainly what we're focused on is creating a new way of making payments, and a lot of people are able to enable a consumer to purchase Bitcoin through a website and load it into their wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And really what's differentiating us and setting us apart is we're looking to make that happen at the point of sale. So I'm a consumer. I walk up to make a purchase. I swipe my credit card at that point of sale terminal, and I purchase my Bitcoin or my any other altcoin that we decide to work with. From there, I actually get a notification, and I can choose to pay that merchant there for a product on site. I can keep that Bitcoin for myself, but if I choose to pay for that product on site there, it actually I have an option to say pay XYZ merchant and click send, and they get the Bitcoin instantly, and the merchant's able to keep that Bitcoin or instantly convert it back into USD if they'd like to do so.
Okay, how do people engage with you? I mean, so that they can start using your product.
Yeah, so the best thing to do is go to SinglePoint.com and sign up under our Bitcoin tab notifications. And as soon as it launches, we'll be sending out a mass email to everybody that has already signed up to receive notifications on this product launch.
Okay, all right. I'm on your website. Where is it? Top right, top left?
It's the tab right there under services. If you click services, there'll be a drop down of about 4 services, and one of them says Bitcoin payments.
Got it. Okay. All right. You are also in the process of making some acquisitions in the pipeline for 2018. Can you tell us? Well, tell us what you can about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to give a brief recap and then tell you what's here in the pipeline as well. So
yeah.
Recently we signed an LOI with a company called Phoenician Engineering. They're first of all, they're shipping their products worldwide. They're focused on the consumer grinder market for cannabis companies. So they're here in the U.S., in Phoenix, actually right in our backyard. Very excited about them. They've got a run rate just over $1 million projected this year, which will really add some great great numbers to our balance sheet. Previous to that, we actually acquired another company, kind of in an alternative market to what we're traditionally in, but it's called Shield Saver, and they just today announced an agreement with Carfax. So we signed a deal with Carfax to start providing them data, as well as be able to pull from their database to further our enhancements of that particular. And that really has a lot to do with our blockchain solutions, and we're doing a lot in the blockchain Bitcoin space. So that's a very exciting development for us.
No kidding.
Upcoming here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big one for us. We're very excited about that. We've actually already started doing dips into their database and being able to pull records of vehicles that we need to be able to pull for use in our mobile application that we're developing. So very exciting front on that space there. Coming up here in the near future, we have signed 3 additional LOIs that we will be announcing soon. All of them are ancillary cannabis services. About $7 million in revenue for 2 of them. So our total revenue that we're looking at acquiring in the next year is a total of about $15 million, with about $3 million EBITDA. So our overall goal here is to be able to meet the requirements to go ahead and make that big leap up into a listed exchange such as NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. And we're going to get those revenues by acquisition, and we're going to continue to build internal products such as our Bitcoin payment solution for the cannabis space.
We got about a minute left in this segment. You're going to come back for another one. Tell me about tell the people that haven't done this, the arduous process of going from private to public and then this Form 10, which you had to live through.
Yeah, so a lot of that paperwork is just, like you said, it's arduous. We're filling out and submitting things to auditors. They're coming back saying, where's this transaction? I need a signature that this receipt was, that this product was delivered and received. And so they're going back through, hundreds and thousands of transactions and looking for every single detail, making sure that we've got everything to a T before issuing, their report. And thankfully, we've gotten through inception to 2016, and then we just finished up 2017, and now we're filling out the Form 10 and working with our SEC attorney to file that. And again, that's another process where he's actually reviewing every agreement from inception. So it's no small task. It's not just a form that, is 4 or 5 pages. This is about 45 pages of information and history of the company from inception that we're compiling and will be submitting for the SEC review.
All right, words of wisdom before we part on this break for people who are about to go through what you just lived through. Just give me a little capsulized words of wisdom on that one.
Organization. Make sure that you have it by year, by subsidiary or company, or however your company is organized. But organization and easy access to share folders with people you need to quickly.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's take a break. I got more to talk to you about on the other side. When we come back, I want to hear your vision for the future, where you see this whole thing going, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you. Look forward to it.
All right, we'll be right back with Wil Ralston, President, SinglePoint, SinglePoint.com. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba, brought to you by Tycon Partners. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. All right, I've got Wil Ralston, President, SinglePoint, SinglePoint.com on the show. All right, well, you've made some acquisitions. Obviously, you're not over there. Talk to us about the direction that you see this industry sector going and where you see the hotspots of opportunity. Obviously, you're making strategic acquisitions along this line, and give us the insight on where you're going with that.
Yeah, so acquisitions have been a huge part of our business and will continue to be so. They will, just continue to get larger as we grow. Strategically, we're looking at a lot of ancillary cannabis space businesses because, one, they're not operating in any federally illegal, touching the plant or selling the actual cannabis flower or anything like that. We're simply providing the pick and shovel services to the cannabis industry,
Right.
Which we really like. And as far as, the future outlook goes, we're pretty bullish on this. As we've seen in the last couple of weeks, we've seen some major political players making announcements saying that, they want to look into descheduling, and even so much as Jeff Sessions saying there may be some medical benefits to cannabis. So a lot of people are changing their opinion, and I think it's going to be a pretty big campaign talking point this coming season, this election season, and it looks like it's going to be pretty positive.
Yeah, so there's lots. I mean, there's mountains of money that have been made in that industry sector since they started to really formalize it and get it out of what the stuff that comes over the border from the cartel, and actually really use it as a medical product. You're doing more than just the cannabis industry because Carfax is that's a completely different industry sector. So, give us some idea of where you see other hotspots are besides just the cannabis area. I mean, that's a foregone conclusion, and you're in the forefront, so you're going to make some money there. What else?
And just to break it up to make it a little easier to understand, SinglePoint has a history of building out technology solutions, and especially within payments. So that's how we got into cannabis. But we still haven't lost our core expertise, which is development of new technologies. So we've kind of got two silos, which is internal development, which is mainly revolved around technologies, and then acquisitions, which are mainly involved in the ancillary cannabis space. So if we look at the internal developments and technologies, blockchain is something that we're heavily working on and providing solutions. So we've selected 3 markets that we're working in. One of them is cannabis because we have a lot of business there. Right. The second one is automotive, which led to our acquisition of Shield Saver, which led to the agreement with Carfax. And then the third one is healthcare, which we have a LOI signed with a company called OR Hub to actually develop a blockchain-based solution for them, or architect the solution, I should say, for the healthcare industry. So all 3 of these industries are just plagued by data and have major key components of relying on that data. And blockchain has become, the latest and greatest technology to easily handle and access all the incoming data and be able to parse it out as needed. So that's really been our latest developments. We've got 6 guys right now working on the automotive blockchain solution, and we're actually looking at bringing on an additional team in the middle of June to start working on the healthcare solution.
All right, when you get into the healthcare, I mean, it's just hard for people who aren't already in the space to consider the fact that they can actually use blockchain or cryptocurrencies to buy their medicines through this process. Is that where we're going to end up? That you're going to be paying your insurance, you're going to be able to pay all of your healthcare products and needs through cryptocurrencies?
Well, I think that's a possibility, right? And that could go long term. That could be where it is because settlement times are faster. Yeah. People aren't waiting. Hospitals aren't waiting to pay for products, and insurance companies aren't waiting to pay out. They can instantly settle, right? And that's something that we look at when we're building this solution. But first and foremost, what we're really looking at is the access to the data and the patient records and what's gone on in historical surgeries and things like that. So actually just providing an easier management system for the hospital itself to say, patient Y came in and had this done, and instead of having to go to all 7 silos like accounting and operational history and all the different data points you have there, you could actually still parse it out to all those internal teams. But then when you make that request, you could actually just go straight to our solution that's on the blockchain. And in the hierarchy, you'll have access to that data instantly instead of having to wait for each team to respond with their piece. So that's really what we're looking at it from. And then also being able to give patients that access of actually owning their healthcare data instead of having to go back to the hospitals and request any operational data they have or things like that. So anytime you walk into a hospital, a patient is signing in, checking out, getting all their history, and it's getting into the hospital's data system. But they, as a patient, it's very hard to access that data. So we look to help ease that pain.
If I can give you one more that I think would be a new breakthrough for everything on this, point of sale also is the media industry incentivizing through cryptocurrencies the watching of media, whether it's
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, point of sale is huge. It's a massive a massive market that is interesting that you bring up since we have a history in payments. I actually discussed with a company this morning about being able to integrate their point of sale solution into our payment offering. So little sneak insight there to what we are aware of that angle and have looked at how to get into it, but just haven't. It's a big endeavor to build a point of sale system and service it for all the clients and the customer service. So we've really been trying to find an angle where we can offer it and have a great solution, but also not have to further diversify our support staff to maintain that solution as well.
Well, I've got to run right now, but I want to talk to you offline about that, Wil. You've been a great guest.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. Again, SinglePoint, OTC, ticker symbol SING. We look forward to talking with you all again in the future.
Great. Thanks, Wil.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Wil Ralston, President, SinglePoint, singlepoint.com.